If organizing your finances seems complicated, the 50/30/20 rule is the solution you need. It's simple, practical, and can change your financial life forever. Today, I'm going to explain how the 50/30/20 rule works, how it can help you organize your budget efficiently by balancing your needs, wants, and savings. I'll show you why this rule is one of the most effective ways to achieve financial stability, and the best part is you can apply it in your daily life, even if you earn a lower income. Stay with me until the end, because besides explaining all of this, I'll share practical tips that can help you get started right away, with simple and quick steps. Explaining the rule. A 50% for needs. Needs are all the essential expenses that you cannot live without. These are the items that ensure your survival and daily well-being. Typical examples of needs include housing, rent or mortgage, utility bills such as water, electricity, gas and internet, basic food, transportation, and healthcare. If you stop and think about it, these are the bills you need to pay in order to have a basic standard of living. It doesn't matter if you live in a modest home or a more upscale property. These are the expenses everyone needs to cover in order to function in daily life. For instance, if your electricity bill is high, you can look for ways to reduce energy consumption or switch from using personal transportation to public transport. These are decisions that directly impact this category of your budget. Let's imagine you earn 3,000 Brazilian reals per month. According to the 50/30/20 rule, you should allocate 1,500 Brazilian reals, 50% of your income, to cover your needs. This includes rent, groceries, utility bills, and transportation. Now, imagine you pay 900 Brazilian reals for rent, 200 Brazilian reals for utilities, 300 Brazilian reals for transportation, and 200 Brazilian reals for food. The total is already 1,600 Brazilian reals, which is above the 1,500 Brazilian reals allowed by the rule. In this case, you need to make adjustments to bring those costs within the 50% limit. This might mean looking for cheaper rent, negotiating utility bills, or finding more affordable transportation options like public transport or carpooling. The key here is to review your expenses and look for cheaper alternatives without compromising your essential needs. When you find that your essential expenses exceed 50%, it's time to reassess and adjust. This doesn't mean you need to cut out the basics of your life, but rather be more strategic about where you can reduce costs. For example, you can try negotiating your mobile phone plan, canceling unnecessary subscriptions, or replacing expensive grocery items with more affordable options. The goal is to be more efficient and reduce costs without compromising the basics of your survival. Be 30% for wants. Wants, in contrast to needs, are all the things that bring joy and pleasure to your life but aren't essential for your survival. These include things like travel, dining out, designer clothing, brand name shopping, entertainment, hobbies, and subscriptions to services like Netflix, Spotify, and others. These expenses are not fundamental to your health or physical well-being, but they are important for your overall quality of life. Wants can make life more interesting, fun, and less monotonous, but they need to be handled with balance. The risk here is overspending, especially on things that are not necessary, and ultimately compromising your financial health. The purpose of the 30% for wants is to bring balance to your financial life. If you focus solely on needs and savings, you might end up feeling frustrated and deprived. Everyone needs some leisure, fun, and indulgence from time to time, and this may include spending on a nice restaurant, a trip, or entertainment. However, the trick is to keep these expenses within the limits of what is feasible without undermining other aspects of your budget, such as savings and investments. However, a word of caution. If you overindulge in your wants, you could end up jeopardizing your ability to save or invest for your future. Spending too much on wants means you'll begin to compromise the money that should be going into your emergency fund or investments. The rule here is simple. Seek balance. Enjoy the good things in life, but don't overdo it. Instead of making impulsive purchases or taking expensive trips that aren't in your budget, look for more affordable alternatives that still fulfill your desire for fun and pleasure. This will help maintain financial balance and ensure that you don't sacrifice your future for short-term enjoyment. Save 20% for savings and investments. Now, we get to the most important part of the rule: savings and investments. The reason most people don't become wealthy is because they don't prioritize building a secure financial future. The emergency fund is crucial because it ensures that you have money to face unforeseen events, such as sudden job loss or a medical emergency, without having to rely on loans or falling into debt. Investments are even more powerful because they allow your money to grow over time through compound interest and asset appreciation. When we talk about investing, many people think that you need a large sum of money to get started. But that's not true. What really matters is starting with what you can. If you earn 3,000 Brazilian reals, you should allocate 600 Brazilian reals for savings and investments. This might seem like a small amount at first, but over time, as you increase your income or manage your expenses better, this amount will grow. A good option to start with is a savings account, which is safe and easy, or government bonds like Tesouro Direto, which are a simple and low-risk investment. If you're comfortable with higher risk, you could consider investing in mutual funds or stocks, which offer greater potential for growth but also come with more risk. The key is to understand your investor profile and choose where to place your money based on your long-term goals. For example, if your goal is to buy a house in 10 years, you may want to look for more aggressive investments to try and grow your money faster. If your goal is to ensure a comfortable retirement, you might prefer more conservative investments that provide greater security. Investing 20% of your income may seem small at first, but with discipline, it will make a significant difference over time. The secret to financial success lies in starting early and being consistent. Every real you invest today will have the potential to generate more money in the future, and the earlier you start, the greater the impact of compound interest, which is the key to building wealth exponentially. Even if you can only invest a small amount at first, what really matters is consistency. The money you invest regularly, even in small amounts, is what truly sets you on a path to financial prosperity. Why this rule works. The 50/30/20 rule works because it simplifies personal budgeting and ensures a balanced approach to managing money. One of its strongest points is its ease of implementation. Rather than meticulously tracking every single expense, which can be overwhelming and time-consuming, this rule breaks down your spending into 3 broad categories: needs, wants, and savings/investments. This makes budgeting less intimidating and easier to follow, as you only need to check if your expenses fall into the right categories and if the amounts are within the recommended percentages. With this approach, you don't need to get bogged down in the details. Just assign your expenses to one of the categories and make sure you stay within the limits. Another key reason the 50/30/20 rule works is because it promotes financial balance. By dedicating 50% of your income to your essential needs, 30% to your desires, and 20% to savings and investments, you strike a healthy balance between living in the present and preparing for the future. The rule ensures that you can enjoy life, take care of your needs, and still build a secure financial future without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. This holistic approach helps avoid the extremes of living either too frugally or too indulgently, and fosters a sense of control over both current spending and future planning. Finally, the rule builds discipline into your financial habits. Having a clear, straightforward strategy in place makes it easier to resist impulsive spending. You know exactly how much you can afford to spend on wants without jeopardizing your financial stability, and you understand the importance of sticking to your savings goals. This discipline helps prevent financial setbacks and encourages you to prioritize long-term security. With a clear plan, you're more likely to stay on track, avoid debt, and ensure that your spending aligns with your broader financial objectives. How to apply it in practice. Understand your income. The first step in applying the 50/30/20 rule is understanding your net income, which is the actual amount that comes into your account after taxes and deductions. It's important to base your budget on this amount, as it reflects your true disposable income. For example, if you earn 3,000 Brazilian reals net, this is the starting point for your budgeting. From here, you can allocate your money according to the rule. 1,500 Brazilian reals, 50%, should go to your needs. 900 Brazilian reals, 30%, to your wants, and 600 Brazilian reals, 20%, to savings and investments. To make sure you're applying the rule correctly, it's essential to calculate your net income precisely. If you receive a salary, this is typically straightforward, but if you are a freelancer or self-employed, you will need to consider fluctuations in your income. Track your monthly earnings consistently and be mindful of any irregular income streams. Once you know your net income, it's easy to break it down into the 3 categories. The key here is consistency, so you need to make it a habit to calculate this every month, particularly if your income varies. B. Tools for organization. One of the easiest ways to implement the 50/30/20 rule is by using tools that help organize and track your expenses. Apps can be very helpful because they automatically categorize your spending, making it easier for you to stick to the 50/30/20 breakdown. Apps like Mobiles, Organize, or Gaia also allow you to link your bank accounts and credit cards, which helps in categorizing your expenses in real time. These apps show you if you're overspending in any category and send you reminders to help you stay within your limits. They also generate reports so you can see at a glance where your money is going, which is very helpful when trying to track the different percentages of your budget. If you prefer a more hands-on approach or don't feel comfortable using an app, spreadsheets can be a simple but effective alternative. Using tools like Excel or Google Sheets, you can create a basic layout with 3 columns, one for needs, one for wants, and one for savings. In each column, enter your expenses throughout the month and check them against your budget limits. For example, under needs, you might list rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Under wants, you might list dining out, entertainment, and non-essential purchases. Under savings, you'll record your deposits to your savings account, investments, or any other long-term financial goals. You can also use color coding or simple formulas to automatically calculate if you're staying within your allotted percentage. This manual process requires more effort, but it can give you a better understanding of where your money goes, especially if you prefer control and customization over automated tracking. C. Adapting to your reality. For low incomes. If you have a low income, you may find it difficult to allocate the recommended 50% to your needs and 30% to your wants. In this case, it's important to focus on adapting the needs category first. Your goal should be to adjust those essential expenses to fit within the 50% limit. This may involve cutting back on things like utilities, shopping for groceries more strategically, or even moving to a less expensive place if housing costs are too high. It might also mean finding cheaper alternatives for transportation, such as using public transport instead of owning a car, or opting for less expensive options when it comes to insurance or healthcare. At the same time, it's essential to prioritize savings, even if it's a small amount. If you can only manage to save a small portion of your income, that's okay. It's important to start somewhere. Even saving 50 Brazilian reals a month is better than nothing and will start to build a financial cushion. The savings can go into an emergency fund, which should be your priority to protect you from unforeseen circumstances. When it comes to the wants category, it's important to reduce those expenses temporarily, but try not to eliminate them completely. The goal here is balance, so find ways to still enjoy life without overspending. For example, instead of frequent dining out, you could cook at home and save the difference. Or you could look for free or low-cost activities to enjoy your leisure time without feeling deprived. It's about making smart choices and understanding that while you may not have the luxury to spend freely right now, you're still investing in your future security by prioritizing savings. For those with debt, if you are in debt, it's crucial to adjust the 20% for savings by first using that portion of your income to pay off high-interest debts. This is because the interest you pay on debts, especially high-interest ones like credit card balances, can quickly outweigh any benefits you might get from saving or investing. For example, if you have a credit card debt with an interest rate of 15% per month, it's better to pay that off before you start putting money into savings or investments. The money you'd be earning in interest on savings or investments will be dwarfed by the interest you're paying on your debt. When you're in debt, the best way to allocate your 20% is to create a debt repayment plan that allows you to pay down your obligations faster. Once you've cleared high-interest debts, you can begin focusing on building up your savings and investments. This approach prevents the cycle of debt from continuing to grow, freeing up your finances for long-term goals in the future. In summary, applying the 50/30/20 rule in practice starts with understanding your income and using tools to track and categorize your spending. Adapting the rule to fit your reality, whether you earn a low income or have existing debts, means prioritizing your financial goals, reducing unnecessary spending, and making strategic adjustments to stay on track. With consistency and discipline, this simple but effective framework can help you take control of your finances, even when money is tight. The 50/30/20 rule is a simple yet highly effective way to manage your finances because it divides your money into 3 clear pillars: needs, wants, and savings. This structure gives you the power to control your spending, achieve balance in your financial life, and work toward long-term wealth building. By sticking to these categories, you're not just budgeting, you're creating a financial plan that works for you no matter what your income level is. It offers you a clear path to follow, one where you can prioritize your essential expenses, enjoy life's pleasures, and secure your future, all without feeling overwhelmed by complex financial decisions. Although it may feel a bit challenging in the beginning, remember that small changes in how you manage your money can lead to big improvements over time. The key is consistency and discipline. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to stick to the 50/30/20 structure. It's important to note that it's not about how much you earn. What matters is how you manage what you have. With the right approach, anyone can apply this rule and improve their financial situation, no matter their starting point. The first step might be difficult, but once you get into the habit, your financial life will begin to feel more controlled and empowered. So, if you found this tip helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you never miss out on more practical advice to improve your finances. Share this video with someone you know who could benefit from organizing their money better. And in the comments below, tell me, which of the categories, needs, wants, or savings, do you find most challenging to control? Let's continue this conversation and help each other build better financial habits.